All right, let's just get right into it. We're about to explore what might be one of the most bizarre and, honestly, one of the most brilliant sports ever invented. It takes the totally mundane and smashes it together with pure adrenaline-fueled danger. So, welcome everyone to the wild world of extreme ironing.
So take a look at this. You've got a person, an ironing board, a nice shirt, perched on the side of a sheer rock face. And no, this isn't some weird Photoshop or a piece of performance art. Your eyes are not playing tricks on you. This is a real, actual competitive sport. It's got rules, world championships, and a surprisingly passionate following all over the globe.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's the big question, why? Why would you ever haul an ironing board up a mountain or dive into a lake just to get the wrinkles out of a shirt? Well, stick around, because we are about to iron out all the details for you. Okay, so to really get this, we need to know what we're talking about. What exactly is extreme ironing? Let's break down this danger sport of domestic chores. Well, according to the official Extreme Ironing Bureau, and yes, that is a real organization, it's pretty simple. It's an extreme sport where people take ironing boards to remote locations and, iron clothes. It's such a straightforward definition for a wonderfully strange and out there idea. And this really gets to the philosophy behind the whole thing. It's all about mashing together two completely different feelings. That heart-pounding rush you get from an extreme sport, and that quiet, almost zen-like satisfaction of a perfectly pressed, crisp shirt. And listen, when they say remote locations, they are not messing around. We're talking about people ironing on a mountainside while they're skiing, completely underwater, or even while parachuting from a plane. People have set up shop on top of huge statues and, get this, in the middle of a major London motorway. Basically, the only limit is your imagination, and, I guess, how far you're willing to carry an ironing board. So, where in the world did this come from? You'd probably guess it was born from some elaborate prank or a bet gone wrong, but the real story is actually a lot more normal. So, let's unfold this origin story. Believe it or not, this whole global thing didn't start on an epic mountaintop. Nope, it started in a totally normal backyard in Leicester, England. And the key here is that it was born from just being bored with chores. And you won't believe how fast this whole thing just snowballed. So in 1997, this guy named Phil Shaw, his nickname is Steam, which is perfect, decided he'd rather be rock climbing than ironing. So he just did both. By 1999, he's on a full-blown international tour promoting this new sport. And just a few years after that, in 2002, it was big enough to have its very first world championship. From a backyard to the world stage in just 5 years. Wow. Okay, so this brings us to the competitive angle. Because it's not just about taking a hilarious photo for social media. There are actual organized competitions with real judges and scoring. So how do you actually win at extreme ironing? Now, this is where it gets surprisingly serious. The single most important factor for scoring isn't the danger. It's the quality of the ironing itself. You could be ironing on the edge of an active volcano, but if that shirt is still wrinkly, you are not going to win. The judges also look at your style and your speed, so it's a real test of skill under some very, very strange pressure. And the sport really blew up after a 2003 documentary called Pressing for Victory. It followed the British team at that first World Championship, and it really showed the world the complete absurdity but also the genuine heart behind the whole thing. You know, with any sport, extreme or not, you're always going to have athletes trying to push the limits and set new records. And in the world of extreme ironing, those records are, well, they're truly staggering. Okay, let's talk altitude. The world record was set at an absolutely incredible 5,440 meters. To put that in perspective, that's just above Mount Everest base camp. Can you imagine trying to get a crisp crease in your collar with that little oxygen? But they don't just go up, oh no, they also go down. In 2011, a diving club in the Netherlands set the record for the most people ironing underwater at the same time. An unbelievable 173 divers all took the plunge to press their laundry. As you can probably guess, ironing underwater is tricky, and apparently, even though a lot of wrinkles get left behind on the clothes, the competitors are still judged on the quality of their work. It's really about doing the absolute best job you can under the most ridiculous circumstances imaginable. You know, I love the phrasing for the Everest record. It's believed to be the world altitude record.
It just adds to this wonderfully weird and slightly informal vibe of the whole thing. It's a world record, but with this charming, almost do-it-yourself spirit. So what's the lasting impact of a sport like this? I mean, is it just a weird fad that came and went, or has it actually left a permanent crease on our culture? Well, here's a pretty good sign you've officially made it. You get a shout out on a huge TV show. Extreme ironing hit that milestone when it was featured on the incredibly popular British soap EastEnders. That right there proves it had moved way beyond a niche hobby and had become a recognizable piece of pop culture. But maybe its greatest legacy is the inspiration it sparked. That whole tongue-in-cheek spirit of taking something totally normal and making it extreme has led to a ton of other amazing and unusual sports. Things like extreme cello playing or walk racing. It basically opened the floodgates for a whole new level of creative, athletic absurdity. And all of this leaves us with one final thought. Extreme ironing proved that literally any chore can become a thrill. So what's next? Extreme dishwashing on a roller coaster? Competitive vacuuming while skydiving? The possibilities are, well, they're endless. So I'll leave you with this. What everyday task do you think should be the next big extreme sport?